Hollywood. That's gooey, ballyhooly Hollywood, where any office boy or young mechanic can be a panic with just a good-looking pan.
And any shop girl can be a top girl if she pleases the tired businessman.
Hooray for Hollywood!
Hello, Hollywood, and welcome to this morning's Walk of Fame ceremony. A special shout out to our fans watching the live video stream courtesy of our media partner Variety. I'm Ron Meyer, President and CEO of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, which is presenting today's program. Now today, in celebration of his 50th anniversary in the entertainment business, we dedicate the 2,648th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame to legendary actor Michael Douglas. And what makes today even more special is that our producer, Anna Martinez, has placed Michael's star on the same corner as his father's star, the one and only Kirk Douglas, who we're glad to have with us today. And his star is just a few stars to the west here. So let me tell you a little bit about Michael. And let me tell you, it's only a little bit because his resume is so long you wouldn't believe it. He's done so much. And cheer for whatever you like. Michael is a double Academy Award winner. Won as Best Actor for his iconic role as Gordon Gekko in Wall Street in 1978. And won as producer of the 1975 much-acclaimed Oscar-winning movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Always busy, Michael will be seen soon starring in the new comedic series, The Kaminsky Method. And that will be released on Netflix on November 16th, just next week. Now, Michael was born in New Jersey. Anyone from New Jersey here? All right. He attended the elite preparatory school, Choate School, and spent his summers with his father on movie sets. Michael attended the University of the University of California, Santa Barbara. And after receiving his Bachelor of Arts degree in drama in 1968, he moved to New York City to continue his dramatic training, studying at the American Place Theater and at the Neighborhood Playhouse. A few months after he arrived, Michael got his first big break when he was cast in The Experiment, which was televised nationwide in 1969. How many of you have seen The Experiment? All right, well, that was a long time ago. Impressed by his performance in a segment of the popular television series The FBI, he was signed to the part of Carl Malden's sidekick in the police series The Streets of San Francisco. And that premiered in 1972 and became one of ABC's highest-rated primetime programs in the mid-1970s. He earned 3 successive Emmy Award nominations for his performance, and he also directed 2 episodes of the series. Now, during the annual breaks in the shooting schedule, Michael devoted most of his time to his own film production company, Big Stick Productions Ltd., and he purchased the rights from his father to produce One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. A critical and commercial success, that movie won 5 Academy Awards. How about that? And it went on to gross more than $180 million at the box office, which was quite a sum back in the 1970s. Michael suddenly found himself in demand as an independent producer. He soon teamed up with Jane Fonda and her own motion picture production company, IPC Films, to make The China Syndrome. And he starred in that along with Jack Lemmon and Jane, and the National Board of Review named the movie one of the best films of the year. Now, despite his success as a producer, Michael resumed his acting career in the late 1970s, starring in Michael Crichton's medical thriller, Coma. He also starred in Running and A Chorus Line. Now, you can cheer for that, of course. Michael's career as an actor-producer came together again in 1984 with the release of the tongue-in-cheek romantic fantasy Romancing the Stone, as well as the successful sequel, The Jewel of the Nile. Michael returned to the screen once again in 1987, appearing in two of the year's biggest hits. He starred opposite Glenn Close in the phenomenally successful psychological thriller Fatal Attraction. And that was followed by his performance as ruthless corporate raider Gordon Gekko in Oliver Stone's Wall Street. His other films include, and these are just a few of them, cheer for your favorites, Black Rain, The War of the Roses, Flatliners, and Radio Flyer. In 1992, he starred with Sharon Stone in the erotic thriller Basic Instinct, one of the year's top-grossing films. He continued on with the films Falling Down, Made in America, The American President, The Rainmaker, A Perfect Murder, Wonder Boys, You, Me, and Dupree, Beyond a Reasonable Doubt, Traffic, and Behind the Candelabra. In 2010, he starred in Wall Street Money Never Sleeps, reprising his Oscar-winning role as Gordon Gekko, and once again was nominated for a Golden Globe. In 2015, he began the successful Marvel series of Ant-Man movies. And as we all know, he portrays Dr. Hank Pym in Marvel's Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp, starring opposite Paul Rudd. Over the years, Michael has been an example of how Hollywood takes care of its own. He has hosted 11 years of the Michael Douglas and Friends Celebrity Golf event, which has raised over $10 million for the Motion Picture and Television Fund. And in 1998, he was made a United Nations Messenger of Peace. I could go on, but I think you've heard enough from me. So let's bring to the stage our honoree. Please welcome Michael Douglas. Now, before you hear from Michael, we have a few special guests who've asked to say a few words about him that I haven't already said. Our first speaker is the Vice Chairman of NBC Universal and the longest-serving studio head in the industry. Prior to joining Universal Studios in 1995, he was the president of Creative Artists Agency, which he founded with 4 fellow agents from the William Morris Agency. Please welcome Ron Meyer.
Thank you, LaRon. I'm very proud to be here celebrating my dear friend Michael Douglas, an extraordinary actor and filmmaker who has created a phenomenal body of work. When I was an agent, I had the good fortune of representing Michael for over 30 years. Our relationship started when he was starring in the television series The Streets of San Francisco. We quickly bonded over being birthday brothers, born only 1 minute apart, and since meeting that first time on set, it's been a privilege to watch him grow into the iconic talent he has become. As you heard a moment ago, his body of work is simply unmatched and has been recognized by the industry with nearly 40 prestigious awards. Michael is one of the few truly talented artists who has the rare capability to play any role and make us believe who he is portraying. Michael has used the power of film and storytelling to bring important cultural and political subjects to the big screen, like in his movies One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and The China Syndrome. He has also played characters like Gordon Gekko and Liberace, who have made us question our values and our place in society. In 1984, while developing Romancing the Stone, Michael couldn't find the right actor to star in the film. The studio had to convince him to play the role. Taking that role forever changed the trajectory of his career as it propelled him into one of Hollywood's great leading men. He is not only a brilliant actor and filmmaker and the best friend I could ever hope for, but he is a loving husband to Catherine, who is here today. Along with his brothers Peter and Joel. He is also a devoted son to his mother Anne and to the legendary Kirk Douglas, who is also with us here today. And a devoted father to his 3 children, Cameron, Dylan, and Karis. It's great to have Cameron, Michael's oldest son, joining us this morning as well. I love Michael Douglas, and I couldn't be more honored to be here as he receives this well-deserved star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Thank you, Ron. Let me acknowledge a few of our civic leaders who are here with us today. First, we have the chair of the board of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. She's also the president and founder of the Hollywood Museum and the historic Max Factor Museum. Please acknowledge Danelle Dadigan. And we also have the new incoming president and CEO of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce with us today, Ronna Godwin. And let me also acknowledge the chair of the Walk of Fame committee that helped select all of our honorees. He's a Walk of Famer himself. Please acknowledge Vin DeBona. And we have past city councilman from the 4th Council District of the City of Los Angeles, the Honorable Tom LeBon. And we have from the LAPD Captain Corey Polka, Hollywood Division. Back there. And we're also delighted to have with us the Mayor of Visalia, California, Warren Gubler. Has the same name as me, my little brother. Glad to have you with us. Well, our next speaker is a 2-time Academy Award-winning actress, author, activist, and fitness guru. Her career has spanned, and you know who it is already, her career has spanned more than 50 years, accumulating a body of film work that includes over 45 films and crucial work on behalf of political causes, women's rights, Native Americans, and the environment. She continues her career currently starring in Netflix's hit series Grace and Frankie. She was most recently seen in the big screen comedy Book Club, and she recently celebrated her 80th birthday by raising $1 million for each of her nonprofits, Georgia Campaign for Adolescent Power and Potential, and the Women's Media Center. Please acknowledge and welcome Jane Fonda to the stage.
Thank you. So, today is November 6th, and it's a very special day in America. Not because it's election day when voters have a chance to have their votes suppressed, but because one of America's greatest, most iconic actors, producers, activists, and humanitarians, Michael Douglas, is being honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. When I first heard Michael was getting his star, I thought, what took so long? You know, especially because he's always been way ahead of his time. For example, The China Syndrome was released March 13th, 1979. 2 weeks later, 3 Mile Island happened. Accident. And of course, the issue of nuclear energy and threat of nuclear proliferation is as much a hot button topic today as it was then. And in 1976, Michael produced the Academy Award-winning One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which shed light on mental health issues and health care, again, in the forefront of today's conversation. In 1988, Michael won the Oscar for his role as Gordon Gekko in Wall Street. Remember, greed is good? Of course you do. And corporate greed and income inequality have never been on display as much as they are today. And in 2014, Michael won both Emmy and SAG Awards for his stunning performance as Liberace in Behind the Candelabra, which dealt with the issue of taking a naked jacuzzi with Matt Damon. Oh, I guess that's not an issue. It's more like a fantasy for 1,000 of women and my best 6 gay friends. But anyway, I digress. My relationship with Michael began when we made the China Syndrome together. We both produced and acted in it, which, by the way, almost didn't happen. You see, the film was originally cast with Michael, Jack Lemmon, and Richard Dreyfuss in the lead roles. But Richard dropped out, so naturally, Michael replaced Richard Dreyfuss with me, and I'm forever grateful. Michael has said that the China Syndrome was one of his favorite films and had a great impact on his life. Always an activist, making the China Syndrome led him on a lifelong crusade against nuclear proliferation, culminating in 1988 when Kofi Annan made him a United Nations Messenger of Peace, where he has concentrated on nuclear proliferation and the reduction of small arms throughout the world. He continues this work today with the United Nations. Michael is a major supporter of the Motion Picture and Television Foundation, having raised millions of dollars for the fund via his 11-year Michael Douglas and Friends golf tournament. Among his many other philanthropic endeavors, he also has recently begun working with Represent Us as an advocate to end corruption in our political system. Need I say again, now more than ever. Michael Douglas and I share something far more specific and unique than acting together. We share a bond that few others do. We both come from families referred to by the press as Hollywood royalty. Both of our fathers were movie legends. And thankfully, Kirk Douglas is still with us. You know, stepping into a family business, any family business, is always challenging. I mean, look at the Trumps or the Corleones. Oh, wait a minute, that's redundant. Anyway, carving out your own identity in a world-famous family business is especially difficult when parent and child are the same gender. I believe it was easier for me to follow in my father's footsteps than it was for Michael to follow in his father's footsteps. No, seriously, I came home to Tom Joad, but can you imagine young Michael heading downstairs to go out for an audition and Spartacus is sitting at the kitchen table? Yet Michael has not only carved out his identity as a great actor with tremendous range, but as a great producer as well. He has rightfully been bestowed with all of the rewards that Hollywood has to offer: Oscars, Emmys, Golden Globes, SAG Awards, and lifetime validated parking at Fred Segal. And now, finally, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Michael, this day and this honor are long in coming, but so well deserved. From this day on, visitors from all over the world will come to Los Angeles and walk down Hollywood Boulevard and see your name and accidentally leave cigarette butts and chewing gum on your star. There are a lot of stars in Hollywood, but nobody deserves this more than you, Michael Douglas. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jane Fonda. So, Michael, we literally have a who's who of Hollywood here today helping to honor you. I'd like to acknowledge those who are here, and please cheer them and then acknowledge them for taking the time to be with us today. And once more, we have to acknowledge the legendary Kirk Douglas. And actress Catherine Zeta-Jones. We have with us producer Lorenzo Di Bonaventura. Producer and Walk of Famer Jerry Bruckheimer. Walk of Famer actor Andy Garcia. Producer Bill Gerber. Producer and Walk of Famer Chuck Lorre. Walk of Famer actor Eric McCormick. The president of Warner Brothers TV at Warner Brothers Entertainment, Peter Roth. And producer-director Peyton Reed. How about that? Well, the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce administers the Walk of Fame on behalf of the city of Los Angeles. And we have a council member who's represented the Walk of Fame for the last 5 years and is leading the charge for Hollywood. In fact, if you see this scatter crosswalk right here, that was one of his more recent additions to help provide for the safety of our citizenry. So please welcome to the stage now the Honorable Mitch O'Farrell.
It is not easy when your father is a legend. It is not easy to distinguish yourself as a legend in your own right in Hollywood. But Michael Douglas has done just that. And to your wonderful family and your friends and your fans, welcome to Hollywood, California. There is no place like it on earth, and I am privileged to represent the 13th District on the Los Angeles City Council. And since we have so much progeny of Hollywood's history with us today, I just want to talk a little bit about the Walk of Fame and what the Chamber of Commerce has done. The Walk of Fame provides an education about the history of Hollywood, as well as an inspiration for tourists, visitors, and the creative artists and individuals who come here to make their own dreams come true. Creativity, artistry, dreams, that is the currency here in Hollywood. So as we invest in our Walk of Fame, along with the wonderful events that are sponsored by the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, we are literally investing in our shared dreams. That's what Hollywood is all about, and that is what brought me to Hollywood in 1982. So that we can continue to nurture those shared dreams and inspire the future great artists and storytellers who may be among us right now. And with that, I congratulate a true living legend, Michael Douglas. Through the years, as a dashing leading man, a scene-stealing character actor, and as a producer of some of our favorite feature films, you've made an indelible mark on our popular culture and in the history of entertainment. That you continue to use your platform for good deeds and philanthropy speaks of how bright of a star you truly are. For these reasons, you, Michael Douglas, are truly deserving of this star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Congratulations, and may God bless you and yours from this day forward.
All right, Michael, it's time to hear from you, but let me just, by final way of introduction, tell you we hereby declare this Michael Douglas Day in Hollywood.
Boy, you're going to be fed up with me by the time this day is over. Mitch, thank you very much. Chamber of Commerce, LA, this is very wonderful. So, 2018 marks my 50th year in show business. So the question that I'm asked about this moment is, what took so long? I mean, let's face it, this is a great honor, and I'm not getting any younger. I mean, I want to enjoy it with my wife and my son, not my caretakers, and my great-great-grandkids. Now, some would use this opportunity to talk about my new Chuck Lorre Netflix series, The Kaminsky Method, opening on November 16th. Not me. This is all about the honor of receiving the star, and not just a chance to mention my new Chuck Lorre Netflix series, The Kaminsky Method, coming out on November 16th. Wait, sorry. What was that? I'm sorry, the guy in the back there. It's November 16th. All right. Kaminsky Method. I want to really thank my friends Ron Meyer and Jane Fonda for those kind words. Ron is one of my oldest friends. As he mentioned, he was my agent for 30 years. And as he said, we were born the same year, the same month, the same day. He was born an hour ahead of me. And he looks it. Right? I was fortunate enough to be able to work with Jane on the China Syndrome, as she said. And although at the same time, she was doing quadruple duty. She was not only starring with me, she was my producing partner, she was on the campaign trail for her husband, and finally, her biggest project, she was shooting a hit series that was eventually watched by hundreds of millions of people, her fans. I'm speaking about her exercise videos. Thank you, Jane. Thank you. You are a second-generation sister. I appreciate it. And it's great. It's great to see some friends here I've had the pleasure and honor of sharing screen time with. Andy Garcia. We had a great time shooting Black Rain in Osaka. And one of my major on-screen love interests is here. I know we were just acting, but to be honest, we both felt the moment. Eric McCormick. I was honored to present Eric with his star here a month ago, and I appreciate him being here for me today. Louis Esposito and Peyton Reed, you're all here. Louis and Peyton, they called me back in 2014 and they said they wanted me in a Marvel superhero movie. I naturally assumed I'd be playing the lead. After a long, painfully uncomfortable pause on the phone, they explained to me that I was too muscular, in too good shape for the part. So Dr. Hank Pym it is. Right. Thank you. And my family. I'm so deeply touched that my family members are here. My brother Joel is here. Peter Douglas. And my niece Kelsey and my nephew Tyler. And I'm so proud to see my son Cameron. And the love of my life is here. Eric, please sit down. I'm talking about Catherine. Thank you, darling, for your support and your love and your patience. By the way, in another week, we're celebrating our anniversary, our 18th anniversary. So thank you for the 18 best years of my life, sweetheart. Thank you. And my dad is here. In a month, Kirk turns 102 years old. So those of you who took the under on him making 80, you lost a long time ago, all right? I know, no son of yours is celebrating his 50th anniversary in the business. But it means so much to me, Dad, that you're here today. And I thank you for your advice, for your inspiration, and I'll say it simply and with all my heart. I'm so proud to be your son. So I've been lucky enough to be part of both classic Hollywood and the new Hollywood. But different as the times are, as much of the types of entertainment created and the platforms in which people have watched it have changed, there are traditions that endure. Traditions like this ceremony, a connective thread that allows us to pay tribute to those of every generation who create the stories that move us. And to me, the 2,000 plus stars embedded in these sidewalks are more than brass honors. They represent real people, women and men who passionately cared about what they did and about entertaining people around the world. I took a moment to look at just a few of the names earlier today, and I saw Fred Astaire, and Meryl Streep, Bob Hope, Elizabeth Taylor, my mentor, Carl Malden, and my dad, Kirk. Dozens of younger superstars, and knowing I've now received that same honor means a lot to me. I've been lucky to be a hyphenate, an actor, producer, and so I know that for every one of the legendary stars I mentioned from in front of the camera, there was an army of men and women behind the camera supporting them. And some of them, producers, directors, agents, attorneys, as well as my production team, are here today. And to all of them, I am forever grateful for what they did and what they do. I stand on the shoulders of people whose names you know, and on the shoulders of people whose names you don't know. They've been equal partners in my career, and I wouldn't be here getting this honor without them. So I want to thank all of them, and thank all of you for being here, and I'm so glad it's November 16th today, all right? Thank you all.
Let's unveil the star.
Get them closer, and okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Straight ahead.
proudly welcome to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Michael Douglas.
Share this with your dad. Hold this with me.
Okay, everybody straight ahead. Here we go.
Look to your left, please, around here.
The other one.
And by the center.
everybody look right here by the tree.
By the tree. Look at the tree.
Right here, guys, by the tree. And then to your extreme right, please, by the wall. Michael, by the wall over there.
Okay, we need everybody straight ahead, folks. Michael, straight ahead. Jane. Right here.
Guys, by the tree. By the tree, guys. Jane. Right here by the tree.
Michael, Jen, to your right.
Hey guys, right here by the tree. By the tree, we got guys. Can we all come to?
Yes, please. Kindness.
Michael, stand on the star.
Stand on the star, Michael, on the star. To your right.
Stand on the star, guys. One step on the star. There you go. Yeah, that's it. He's the first one.
And Michael, straight ahead.
Michael, stand by the tree. By the tree.
Hold on, guys. Let me angle your back here again.
And Jane, come over here and sit on
You're right, guys.
Michael, by the tree. Hey, guys.
Come on, Michael.
Give her a kiss, Michael. Right. Kiss. To your right. By the tree, guys.
Anna, we need him straight ahead. Oh, okay.
Guys, by the tree, right here. Michael.
Michael, Catherine.
Michael, Catherine.
Catherine.
Right here, guys. Cheek to cheek.
Catherine, Michael. One more.
Catherine, come over here and give me a kiss.
The switch.
Cup in the middle.
You should be in the middle. You should be in the middle.
On the star.
You come forward.
That's perfect. Thank you.
There we go.
Everyone on the right side right here. Go.
1, 2, 3.
Hey. Catherine. Marco, can you kneel down? Straight ahead! Come straight ahead! Everybody out front! Anna, we need to straight ahead. Kirk. Michael Solo, we haven't done Michael Solo. Brother? I understand. Michael, to your right, Michael. Michael, by the tree, Michael. Michael, look up by the tree right here. Michael, look up, Joe. Michael. Straight ahead, Michael. Touch the star with your hands. Okay. Turns the other way. Mr. Douglas. Michael, can you touch the star? Right here, Mr. Douglas. Right here, Michael. Michael, by the wall. Touch it. Michael. The first one to touch it. Sit on the stove. Touch the stove, Michael. Hey, shut up. Michael, Lisa, right here. Michael, Lisa, right here. Guys, get closer to the star. Guys, can you take a step forward? Everybody come closer. Chuck, to the star. There you go. Everybody right out here. Okay, everybody straight ahead. Here we go. And by the tree. Chuck. And by the tree, guys. By the tree, guys. Lisa. Shameless. Wonderfully shameless. No, please. Oh my God. No. Gentlemen. Eric, guys, move on. Come closer. Guys, by the cheek to cheek. By the tree, by your guys. By the tree, Eric. By the tree. One more. Come on. Eric. That was about to touch. Yeah. It was about to Right, Bob. Good job. All right, here we go. 3, 2, Michael. Michael, by yourself. Go. Michael. There we go. Michael, this way. Michael, look up. Michael, look up. Michael, by the tree, please. Michael, by the tree. I am on the tree. Michael, look up. Michael, straight ahead. By the tree. What's by the tree?